Well, it is good to be back here at Mother of the Redeemer Farm. It's been a few years. And actually that Carrie caught me off guard. I was used to this simple one. Well, it's been 7 years since I did that one. But anyway, our Lord makes very clear that, the purpose of the Sabbath rest. And I had a quote from the Catechism that I would like to share with you. Let's see. It's number 2173 tells us that these words of Jesus gives the Sabbath its authentic and authoritative interpretation that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. But still, even today, you have people that really don't care. They work on Sunday. It's just another day of the week, or they're so preoccupied with their other gods that they don't take time out for worshiping God. God has blessed us with so much. We need to take at least one day of the week to come and thank Him, and to praise and worship Him, to ask for His grace to get through these crazy days that we find ourselves in, and to be able to receive Him into our heart and soul and Holy Communion. People don't give it a second thought of missing Mass for weeks on end and months, but they wouldn't think of going without eating for that long. But our soul needs nourishment as well. We need Jesus. We need the Eucharist. True freedom is only found in Jesus Christ, and this freedom is rooted in love. If we separate ourselves from love, we're not going to be able to grow in it very efficiently through our own efforts or power. It's not going to happen. The Pharisees didn't understand that the law was supposed to lead to love. And for those who love, no law is necessary. Like St. Augustine reminds us, you love God, you can do what you want, because you're not going to be offending Him. You don't want to offend someone who loves you so much. They just didn't get it. When we seek God's will in our lives and live according to objective truth, then we have a personal relationship with Jesus. We're not going to be absenting ourselves from Sunday Mass, and we'll probably make a greater effort to get to Mass even throughout the week, if we can. Not everyone can make it to Mass every day. Our Lady of Fatima knew that. You're here to honor her first Saturday request. She didn't say go to Mass every day. She said pray the Rosary every day for world peace. The great rebellion raised against the moral law today is a rebellion raised by the new Pharisees. These are the people who permit everything and forgive nothing. These are the people who are incapable of love because they're too rooted in hatred and self-indulgence. They'll cry, they'll persecute us for being full of hate because we preach the truth. But we're the ones who love. And that's why we have to speak the truth in love. It's ironic. They're the ones that are filled with hate, but they're the ones accusing us of the hate crimes. They respond violently and terrible words and insults, because they simply don't want to conform their lives into objective truth. You know, this culture of rebellion is essentially rooted in a basic principle. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to have the church telling me how to live. You don't let people get away with that. You have to correct them and say, no, what you have to say is, I don't want Jesus Christ, the second person of the most holy Trinity, the Son of God, telling me how to live. Because that's basically what they're saying. You know, it was the anarchist of the 60s and the 70s that created a movement of action without any reference to God's law. You know, when someone says something contrary to this basic principle of theirs, there's a violent explosion of hatred, because this defiant age, in essence, is a rebellion against God. So, how do we go about fixing this damage to society caused by these enemies of God? Well, there's a story of a gentleman talking to St. Francis de Sales. I guess his days were similar to ours. This guy was saying, you know, he's complaining about all the problems with the government and even in the church and in society. And St. Francis de Sales said, you are absolutely right. And you could say the same thing today. There are many problems in the government, in the church, and in society. And as St. Francis de Sales answers, just as applicable today. He said, you know, you're absolutely right. But the best place to start is with ourselves. That's where we can make a difference. You know, I guess we're all rebels to one degree or another. I would suggest, you know, following Our Lady's peace plan, wearing the brown scapular, praying the rosary every day for world peace. That's what Our Lady asked at Fatima. St. Louis de Montfort says, if a person resolves to pray the rosary every day, one of two things happens. He said they either stop sinning or they stop praying the rosary every day.